You're watching WGN Midday News.
Welcome back. You know, we didn't get that huge snowstorm that was predicted for the Chicago area, but we know winter weather's here, and not too late to protect your car and get it ready for the season. Fred Ligouri has more than 10 years experience in the automotive industry, and he's with us now with some tips. We just had a story. AAA says that 1.5 million motorists are going to be stranded this season because of various problems related to weather and really not maintaining their cars properly.
Sure, and we've got a few tips for you to help you avoid that kind of scenario.
Yeah, let's start with oil.
Certainly,
I'm surprised the number of people who don't really know how to check the oil or don't bother. Maybe that's because cars are so good now, but you really have to do that.
Well, a lot of times with new vehicles, you can do it right from the dashboard and the onboard computer. But if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, the way to do it is pop the hood and then look for this yellow dipstick. You want to do this when the engine is off and been running, but pull it out, clean it off, and then reinsert it. And what you're looking for is for that oil mark to come between the two hash lines. And if you see that, you've got plenty of oil in there, and you know that you're good.
Now, why do you want to do it when it's warm?
After it's been running, so that you can see if there's any engine oil cycling through the engine.
Good. Okay. We're right close to the radiator here. You always got to check the radiator fluid.
Well, so you want to check the reservoir, and you want to do this when it's cold. You don't want to open up anything with the radiator when it's hot. But you can check, and there's a fill line on all the reservoirs that'll show you where the line is when it's cold or when it's hot, the engine is hot. So just check and make sure that you got enough of that fluid there. Also, before you head out, make sure you got plenty of windshield washer fluid.
Oh, yeah. That's a big problem. And, yeah, you see people lined up at gas stations around the snow when it snows buying that. I'm always some cars nowadays actually have tire pressure monitors right in the dashboard. That's pretty impressive.
It is. It is. Our vehicle does as well. However, if you'd like to do it the old-fashioned way, you can get a digital tire gauge like the one I have here. This is real easy to use.
Oh, I've got one of the old-fashioned kind where the plastic thing pops out, but it'll
work just as well. This one's a little bit easier to read, but certainly traction this time of year is the most important thing to take care of and make sure you have. And to do that, you want to check your tires when they're cold. You don't want to have been driving on them recently. And then just make sure you get a clean seal. And right there, it'll show you what your tire pressure is. Go around and do it to all four tires on the vehicle.
Front and back are sometimes different, right?
Front and back are sometimes different. So there's a way that you can check and know where your tire pressure is supposed to sit, and that's always on a sticker on the driver's door jamb. It's true of any vehicle, so just take a look in the driver's door jamb.
Okay.
And when you're checking tire pressure, don't forget about the one in the trunk. You want to make sure that that spare is properly inflated as well.
That actually happened to me one time. Had to change a tire and open the trunk and realized that the spare in the trunk was flat. So what about windshield? Windshield wipers, making sure that those are fresh and
Yep, visibility is another important aspect of winter driving. So if you need to change your windshield wipers, it's really easy to do. If they happen to be streaking the windshield or not clearing it appropriately, all you need to do is pop that off, replace it, and then reinsert, and there you're good to go. You also want to make sure that you have a snow brush in the car so that you're brushing off snow not only on the windows but also on your lights before you head off. Also, you want to do it to the hood of your car because you don't want that drifting snow that may be on your hood to come back and blow up onto the windshield while you're driving.
What about this treatment products for windshields for keeping rain and snow up? Is that, you like that?
Yeah, sure. Like Rain-X, you mean?
Rain-X, that was the product I was trying to think of.
Those will help you if you want to apply those. Do it while your windows are dry and before the weather hits.
Okay, and before you head out on a long trip, what are some of the things you need in the trunk of your car just for emergency purposes?
Sure. So you want to bring along some various flares and jumper cables and those kinds of things, and we have a roadside kit right here that I can show you. So this one has the two most important things you need, which is a set of jumper cables and a flashlight. Really important to have in case you're stranded on the side of the road or need a jump. You've got those. I also added some road flares, signal flares, in case you become disabled on the side of the road. You can warn your fellow motorists.
I've actually heard of people carrying kitty litter around just in case they get stuck in the snow. Is that a good idea?
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Kitty litter gives you good traction if you need it underneath your tires. So if you become stuck, you can sprinkle a little behind your tires. You don't want to use road salt because that'll melt the snow and then form ice. Not a good idea.
Great tips, Fred Ligouri. Thank you so much for coming in. And you don't want to be one of those 1.5 million Americans who are going to be stranded. So for more tips, just visit drivingthemidwest.com/winterweather.